Welcome back to another 3 questions in 3 minutes with our power players in tourism and hospitality. I'm very excited today to be joined by Commissioner Erik Kulleseid of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. Me being from Montana, I've been very much looking forward to this. I have a great appreciation of public lands. So thank you so much, Commissioner, for taking the time to be with me today.
My pleasure.
So over the past few years, state parks have really been a resource that's been quite essential for people during the pandemic. Getting out, being able to take care of your body and your mind, being able to make use of public lands. How have you noticed changes throughout the past few years in visitation and appreciation for state parks?
So, if you think back to March of 2020, when we really did not know much about this disease and whether you could get it outdoors or indoors, and there were even some states that closed their state parks, right? New Jersey closed their state parks for a while, but New York kept those parks open. It caused a lot of stress on our staff, right? Because, again, they worried about getting close proximity and all these people coming from all over the place. We were overwhelmed. This started in March. When we do not have our seasonals on board, right? We are a much smaller staff then, and people were coming in from New Jersey and from Connecticut and from the city and Long Island coming up to find hiking. Hiking obviously was the big thing that happened at the beginning of the pandemic. And so, but at the same time, right, we had these challenges, but the whole experience became so affirming. It became affirming because it just confirmed what parks are to us in our communities, right? They were the only place you go when the malls were closed and the restaurants were closed and the theaters were closed. The place you could go were the parks. And so we saw this incredible spike in visitation in March of 2020 as people came out to golf, camp, swim, hike, anything they could, because it was like, as you said, it was the one place where you could congregate, see your family, and not worrying about getting this dreadful disease, right? That's been such a national tragedy. So it's been a stressful. It was an incredibly stressful 2 years. I don't want to go through it again, but it was remarkable how affirming it was for what we do in our mission at state parks.
Absolutely, it really goes to show just how crucial your department is.
Yes.
So, how did you become involved in parks and in conservation? I believe that you grew up close to a state park in the Hudson Valley. Did that influence you at all?
So I grew up, I was fortunate enough to, right? I grew up in the backyard. Hudson Highlands State Park was in my backyard. That was when I wanted to get out of the house, get away from my parents, whatever it was, that's where I headed, right? I had my own outdoor kingdom with streams and frogs and the kinds of things you could just be totally free. It was before the days of Lyme disease. You didn't have to worry about getting ticks. So I was fortunate to grow up in that environment. So I've loved our parks from the very beginning. Just love the outdoors and particularly love how our parks just pull people in from all walks of life, all cultures, all ethnicities. They're really incredibly special places.
They really are. And so how can we help you? How can New Yorkers and visitors help the Parks Department and make sure that the parks stay clean, they stay safe, they stay sanitary? What can regular visitors do to our parks to help support you guys?
So we ask that you come, obviously, come. We are open for business. And I think obviously a lot of our parks are carry in, carry out. So we ask you to come in and take all your garbage with you. Please respect other people and respect critters. Don't find yourself in a situation trying to tempt bears or anything like that. Stay on the trails. We have a lot of, state parks are about recreation, but we also have thriving ecological communities. So we ask that you respect nature. And I'll just say this: if the park you want, because parks have become so popular, if the park that you're looking for is oversubscribed, we've got lots of them to go. We've got lots of great places to go. And get yourself our app. It's called the New York State Park Explorer app. It'll tell you when parks fill up, so you can plan to go somewhere else. So it's a great thing to help our visitors sort of map out their day in our parks.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, for joining me and for being a power player in tourism and hospitality.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.